All right, burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war. Welcome back, MTG Burgeoning community. You are here on Top-10s-Day Wednesday. Yes, that's right. Burn me down in the comments for that pun, but I love it. And in today's video, we are going to look at the top 10 Avacyn Restored cards played in EDH. All right, folks, so welcome back. Let's get to our top 10 for today, and we are going to run down the top 10 cards from Avacyn Restored that are played in EDH Commander. And of course, as usual, all of these statistics are derived from EDHRec.com. And for the purposes of these set-specific cards, we are not including any lands, and we are not including any cards that are reprints. These are original non-land cards from the set. So let's get going. Number 10. Ghostly Flicker. 2 and a blue. We exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands we control, then return those cards to the battlefield under our control. Great card. I can't believe that this is only a common. The things that can be done with this are completely twisted, particularly if you're having green and blue, and let's face it, that's not really an abnormal color combination to have in Commander. And one of those lands might be, I don't know, a Gaia's Cradle that comes back into play untapped after you've already tapped it for a ton of mana. Ghostly Flicker is card number 10, and I believe it's going to be our only common of this entire top 10. Yes, it is our only common. Number 9. Harvester of Souls. For 4 and 2 black, we got a 5/5 Death-Touching Demon. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. I can speak specifically for me. I have this in an Athreos Shadowborn Apostle deck. And boy, oh boy, does that get out of control if left unchecked. If that Athreos Apostle engine is revving and there's no chance for interaction because we can continuously sacrifice the Apostles and keep drawing cards, well, it's game ending. Harvester of Souls is an awesome card drawing machine. And it is number 9 on this list. Number 8, and honestly, a card I thought would have been higher on the list. Conjurer's Closet. For 5, it's an artifact that reads, at the beginning of our end step, we may exile target creature we control, then return that card to the battlefield under our control. Great for blinking, great for taking advantage of ETBs like in a Yarok deck. Conjurer's Closet, only number 8. I really would have thought that would have been higher. Number 8. Number 7. Avacyn Angel of Hope. 5 and triple white. She is the angel, folks. 8/8 flying vigilance. She and other permanents we control are indestructible. I can attest to having a copy of Avacyn in my Kalia of the Vast EDH deck. And I have seen some very mean things that can be done with Avacyn in a deck, destroying lands, destroying permanents, but she keeps all of your things alive and free from going to the graveyard. Avacyn Angel of Hope, number 6. Number 5. A surprising card for me initially, but after thinking about it, I always think, man, I need to get more copies of this card whenever I'm making like kitchen table decks and in some of the EDH decks as well. and that's Reforge the Soul. Our first miracle of the top 10. Reforge the Soul is 3 and 2 red as a sorcery, and each player discards his or her hand and draw 7 cards. And of course, miracle, if we draw this as our first card we draw during our turn, we can cast it for 1 in a red as opposed to 3 in a red. So what we're really doing is we're mimicking a Wheel of Fortune. And if you have a specific draw discard theme built into a deck, then I think Reforge the Soul is a fantastically useful card for that type of deck. If you're just sticking this into any deck because you have red, for me, I tend to tap the brakes on that, because one of my deck building principles when I sit down to make my EDH commander decks is I do not want to include cards that are going to help my opponents. Reforge of the Soul is one of those cards, similar to a Howling Mine, similar to a Mana Flare. These are cards that, yes, they're going to help me, but are they going to help me enough to put my opponents so far ahead, to put me so far ahead of my opponents that they getting benefits are not going to be a deterrent for me including it. And like I said, if it's in a specific draw discard deck, then I think Reforge the Soul is a great card to add. If not, for me, I would probably need a little convincing. And those are our bottom 5. All right, here we go. The top 5 Avacyn Restored cards that are played in EDH Commander. Number 5, Soul of the Harvest. 4 and 2 green, 6/6 trampling elemental that whenever a non-token creature enters a battlefield under your control, we may draw a card. Okay, so this has a lot of, well, not a lot of synergies, but this is kind of similar to what we have over here with Harvester of Souls, that whenever a non-token creature we control dies, we may draw a card. And this is whenever a non-token creature enters a battlefield, we may draw a card. So, non-token coming in, non-token going out. There was a time many moons ago, it's a deck that I don't currently have constructed, but many moons ago, I had a Golgari Relentless Rat deck. And I had these 2 creatures in there with sacrifice outlets and ways in which to get rats into play with a lure in. And I would just cast a rat, draw a card, sack a rat, draw a card. And that was just a ridiculous engine and something that I just needed to put away and retire. But yeah, it was with the, what was that card called? I think it was called Blood Bond. Let me look it up. I think it was Bloodbraid March or something. Hang on one second. Let me check. Yes, that's what it was called, Blood Bond March. It's a Golgari enchantment, 2, a black and a green, and whenever a creature spell is played, each player returns all cards with the same name as the spell from his or her graveyard to play. So you're not really anticipating or expecting that kind of enchantment to have any kind of effect in an EDH commander table, but boy oh boy, under the right set of circumstances with that Relentless Rat deck I used to run, it was an amazing combination. Had to go away, though. I could see why. All right, so Soul of the Harvest was number 5. So let's move on to number 4. And unfortunate for me, this is the only card of the top 10 that I did not get from Avacyn Restored. That is most unfortunate. I was hoping for a full flavor on with this set, but I was so close. Number 4, Crater Hoof Behemoth. The set symbol from MM17. Couldn't it be from Avacyn Restored? I just couldn't pull the big guy. Anyways, we all know about Crater Hoof Behemoth. 5 and triple green for a 5/5 hasty beast, and when he enters the battlefield, creatures we control gain trample and get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of creatures we control. We know what it does. It's a game ender. And I think it's only number 4 because of its price tag. If it were a bit cheaper, or printed more often, I believe it may be closer to number 1 status. Number 3, Deadeye Navigator with the Soul Bond mechanic. For 4 and double blue, we got a 5/5 spirit with Soul Bond, which means that we may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as we control both of them. And as long as Deadeye Navigator is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has tap a white, tap a blue, lose all your friends. No, I'm just kidding. Tap 1, tap blue, exile this creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. So many broken ETB and exiling loops can be accomplished with Deadeye Navigator. We all know its power, and that's why it's number 3 in this top 10 list. Here's a surprise for me. I love this card. I play with this card as much as I can in decks that can definitely benefit from it, but never did I think it would be this high on a top 10 list. Again, no lands and no reprints, but still, number 2, Cathay's Crusade. 3 and double white. This enchantment says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control. Tokens love it. Tribes love it. Any kind of token or creature heavy deck is going to love a Cathay's Crusade. Very good. All right. And number 1, the number 1 played card from Avacyn Restored in all of EDH Commander. It's not a rare, it's not a mythic, it's an uncommon, and it's Blood Artist. 1 and a black. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life, and we gain 1 life. 0/1 for 1 and a black. Blood Artist is a sacrifice aristocrat deck favorite and a staple if you look at this as number 1 ahead of all of these other cards. Granted, it's a very low CMC. Actually, it's like a $5 uncommon, but still. Blood Artist is the number 1 played card in Avacyn Restored in our format of EDH and Commander. And that's it, folks. Top 10 in 10. This is MTG Burgeoning. You will go forth and you will enjoy this day. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description, or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2, select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.